What we do is we have a very interesting program that combines both education and student mentorship with research. So Ted Hume, who was the benefactor behind our center, was at CIA for many years. He left, he started a company, he sold the company, and then provided an endowment back to Virginia Tech. And as a part of that endowment, his goal was for us to really inspire the next generation of national security leaders. We would do that through development of new curriculum, creation of extracurricular programs, sort of a whole system of student mentorship and career mentorship, because every freshman comes in and wants to be a CIA case officer, and perhaps that's not the best career for everyone. So that's a lot of what we do. In addition to that, we pair it with the opportunity for students to work on classified research. So I think it's a truly unique environment where we're doing classified research. We're able to get student security clearances, particularly master's and PhD student security clearances. And then they're able to get really engaged with the mission, understand kind of the core technological and issues associated with national security. But at the same time, they have curriculum and student experiences that are sort of aligned with that. And that's really what we're doing at the Hume Center. We've been doing it now for about 6 years, and our funding, sort of pie graph of funding there, but we're mostly funded by the DoD and the IC. We do pretty much all of the classified work at Virginia Tech, and we have in addition to academic faculty and graduate students, we have a cadre of full-time research staff that are necessary to execute on things that are other than pure grant-based research. If I had to sort of characterize an underlying theme of the work we do, it's really taking the challenges of cybersecurity, autonomy, and resilience in the national security community and seeking to advance fundamental technologies to address that. I'd say a lot of where we're headed is heavily influenced by the DepSecDef's third offset strategy and the technologies that will be needed as a part of that strategy moving forward. So a heavy influence of autonomy and things of that nature. Another very interesting thing at Virginia Tech is that we've had a lot of success with spinning off companies. The Hume Center has spun off 3 companies now in the past few years, and those companies have raised more venture capital than the Hume Center has actually won in grants and contracts, and they now employ more people across the country than the Hume Center employs within its organization. So that's a really interesting opportunity to see secondary impact and tertiary impact of the work that we're doing. Where a typical academic program would really kind of focus on the first half of that pipeline, we are really aggressively moving towards the second half of the pipeline as well. And part of that really, so the question is, well, what does that have to do with national security? Well, one, we have sponsors like DARPA and others who are investing a lot of money in research at universities. And there isn't always some big government program of record that's there to absorb the technology that we're creating. So what happens to that technology? Well, what we have done is sort of noticed this trend that increasingly the federal government wants to buy COTS. And if somehow we have to take this research that was done at a university and turn it into something COTS that the government can buy. And a really interesting way of doing that is through startup companies. So that's another, I think, key innovation that we have at Virginia Tech in this area.